I'm going to talk about the one sense I had not talked about before, and that is the sense of hearing. And again, just to aside, I know that some of us on this call, and as we get older, or if we played in a rock and roll band as a kid, or we're playing in a rock and roll band now as an adult, for whatever reason, from birth or whatever, we can have some hearing impairment. And I recognize that, appreciate that, talking into the microphone as much as I can. I want to go through the ordinary mechanics of what happens when the ear hears, when we hear, the brain hears. I'll just share this with you. Your ear has three parts that lead to your brain. These parts are the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. From the outer ear, sound waves travel through a tube called the ear canal. Here's some information for you. Have you ever thought about what happens once sound enters your ears? Just as the brain interprets the images your eyes see, the brain is also responsible for interpreting the sound your ears collect. Very simply, here's how it works. Your outer ear acts like a satellite dish to collect sound from the environment and funnel it to the inner ear. The inner ear translates the sound into electrical impulses, and these impulses are sent along what's called the auditory nerve. Once these electrical impulses reach the brain interprets them into recognizable sound. Your inner ear has something called stereocilia. Stereocilia. These are hair cells on the inner ear and the inner ear that receive the sound vibrations from the outer ear. And these hair cells change them into electrical impulses. These hair cells, approximately 16,000 of them, are rolled up like a carpet inside the cochlea. The hair cells on one end of the carpet are responsible for translating vibrations for higher pitch sounds, much like a piano keyboard, and those on the other end are responsible for sound vibrations in the lower register. So you have these 16,000 hair cells that are rolled up like a carpet inside what's called the cochlea. One end, those hair cells are responsible for translating the vibrations for higher pitch sounds, and the other end, lower register. Here's the key thing. When these hair cells die, you lose your ability to hear different sounds, depending upon where the damaged stereocilia are located. And unlike the hair on your head, unfortunately, hair cells on the inner ear do not grow back once they are damaged or die. Many things can damage these delicate hair cells, but what's called noise-induced hearing loss, NIHL, is one of the most common and preventable. Approximately 26 million Americans between the ages of 20 and 69 have hearing loss, and as many as 16% of teens ages 12 to 20 have reported hearing loss because of noise-induced hearing loss. And the last point, our left and right ears handle sound differently. Scientists have discovered the right ear responds more to speech and logic, while the left ear is more tuned to music, emotion, and intuition. This may explain why those with greater hearing loss in the left ear have trouble understanding friends and family's emotional issues, while those with greater hearing loss on the right ear lose some of their ability to sort things out. So the word for the day is something that I haven't talked about, but it's familiar to a lot of people. It's a Japanese word. It's shinrin yoku. Shinrin yoku. The word translates as forest bathing, which sums up the activity fairly well. It's not just going for a walk in the forest or going for a walk in nature. It's consciously, deliberately, enjoyably getting outdoors to de-stress, relax, and promote well-being. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, Americans spend about 80% of our time indoors, which is clearly a lot. Meanwhile, being in nature is associated with a slew of benefits like improving memory, reducing stress and anxiety, and even lowering inflammation. Shinrin yoku. Okay, y'all. Thank you for joining. Talk soon.